Hi everyone, I'm Vikas. Welcome to Learn with Friend, session 2 of ECG course. In last session, we learned about components of ECG. If not seen, please watch it for your better understanding. For this session, let's learn about intervals and segments of ECG. Before that, let's know few things about ECG paper. ECG paper is a graph in which for every 5 1 millimeter square, you can find a heavier line forming a larger 5 millimeter square. Large square measures 5 millimeter into 5 millimeter, which represents 0.2 seconds or 200 milliseconds. Small square is of 1 millimeter into 1 millimeter, which represents 0.4 seconds or 40 milliseconds. Let's get to the topic, intervals and segments of the ECG. An ECG segment is a line that connects two waves without including either of them, whereas interval is a portion of the ECG that includes a segment and one or more waves. Let's look at this on an ECG. PI interval is measured from the onset or beginning of P wave to the beginning of QRS complex. QRS interval is measured from the beginning of the Q wave until the end of the S wave. ST interval is measured from end of QRS complex to the end of T wave. QT interval is measured from the beginning of the Q wave to the ending of T wave. And RR interval is the distance between two consecutive R waves. Coming to segments, PR segment is measured from the end of P wave to the beginning of QRS complex. And ST segment is measured from the end of the QRS complex to the beginning of the T wave. Now let's learn how to measure these intervals. Count the small squares of the interval that you wish to measure and multiply it with 40. You will get the answer. For example, I am measuring PR interval here. First, let's count the small squares. There are 1, 2, 3 and 4. There are 4 small squares in the PR interval. Now we have to multiply it with 40. That is 4 into 40. We will get 160. So our PR interval is 160 milliseconds. That's it for this session, guys. See you in the next session. Happy to answer your questions. Please do comment if any. Thanks for watching and happy learning.